guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about barter items. Again, kicking off our barter series that we started off with the number one item that you should have for bartering post-collapse, and that is a pot still. We talked about that in the last video, and I go through all of the reasons why. So if you haven't seen that video yet, that's the video that kicks off the series. You want to go check that out. Moving on. What are some of the other things that you could have for barter during post-collapse or during a collapse that would help feed your family? And this is something a lot of you guys, we're going to go through two items today. The next item is something many of you suggested. And like the pot still, it is something that you can produce on your own. The best barter materials are things that you can produce on your own and that people want. Okay, find an item that people want and that you can produce on your own. High demand that you can produce. A pot still qualifies for that. And let's just be honest. There's not much people want. I mean, if you have a choice between such and such, whatever, and booze, people will usually pass over whatever you have over here for the booze. So the pot still is always number one. But number two, many of you suggested, and that is seeds. Many of you put that in the comments below. Seeds, garden seeds, seeds for vegetables, seeds for planting, seeds for your garden, all these seeds. And seeds are something easy that you can grow, you can make yourself, and that you can trade and barter for people, certain varieties of vegetables and things like that. You can grow all these yourself, make them, and then save them and use those for barter. This is my stash. This is some of my stash. This is some of my stash, and I try to rotate some of these things. Some of these things are kind of old in here. I think I've got stuff in here probably from like 2017. Yeah, here's a 2017. Japanese eggplant. I do not like eggplant. Okay, you're never going to see eggplant in my garden. You grow what you eat, okay? Grow what you eat in your garden, and, eggplant, I just don't like eggplant. I've never had an eggplant meal that I've liked. And people have tried to make eggplant lasagna and eggplant this and eggplant that. I don't like eggplant. Thus, the reason this package from Baker Creek in 2017 has never been opened and probably never will be by me. But I don't know why I keep it. I don't know. There was somebody in my area recently, a couple years ago, started a seed library where you could go and you could donate, and it's out in the open. And you could just go, it's in like the town square of this little town nearby, and you could just go and donate seeds and take seeds, and you sign stuff out, when you got some. And it was all free, and really neat idea, but there was just not a lot there. And so I should just take some of that stuff here. I did, in fact, I dropped off a whole bunch of donations there. So anyway, I've got lots of different things in my seed stash, things that are updated, things that I will be growing this next year. In fact, I just got a new package in from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. You can find their website, rareseeds.com. I probably will be at the Baker Creek Spring Planting Festival this year. A lot of you guys know about that. It's huge. There's usually about 10,000 people there per day. It's a 2-day event, Sunday and Monday, I believe. And so I just got a new package because there's a couple things I wanted to grow this year. I wanted to try some new things, new varieties of some things. And so I ordered a small package from them, and they just got that in the mail to me the other day. And so that's ready for spring because spring planting is here. And so these will be getting started here just like in the next few days. And I'm actually going to be working out in my garden today. So a lot of you guys are like, when are you going to get back to the garden? It's on the list of things to do here shortly because planting season is upon us. So I have lots of different seeds here, but see, these are things you can... I forgot what these were. Look like gobstoppers. What are those? No, milk duds. Look like milk duds. I have no idea what these are. Sometimes people give me stuff, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's neat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Definitely not a milk dud. So I have lots of seeds, and these are great for barter and trade. Listen, flea markets will pop up post-collapse. If there's ever a collapse, flea markets will pop up, and people will barter and trade all kinds of things, and you'll be able to trade your seeds. There will be people who had a bad crop that year, and they're desperate needs for seeds for the next year. And so they will gladly trade something to take some seeds off your hands at a flea market type place if when those pop up, and they will. And so seeds, Like besides the pot still, seeds are your number one thing to have. Let's just say number two thing to have for barter and trade. There's just so much you can do with these. And if you don't know how to save seeds, some varieties are a little more difficult than others, so you got to learn, and that's why we have this ability to do it now. So learn to save seeds now. It'll save you a whole bunch of trouble later. Most seeds are pretty easy to save, but some aren't. Some require a little bit of trickery, to get them to do what you want them to do. But so that's all about the learning process. Anyway, so seeds. This is a small portion of my stash that I have, and so there you go. A lot of stuff from Baker Creek and a lot of stuff from other heirloom organic producers as well. The second thing, I'm going to try to cover 2 items per video of barter items. The second thing is something that I think might strike you as a little bit odd, but a lot of people don't think about this. But it was something that I noticed back, when I had a grandmother and great-grandmother, great-grandmother and great-grandmother, they absolutely held on to these things, and that is bottles, glass bottles. These things, if a collapse ever happens, if it ever hits the rotating oscillator, if the manure ever hits the rotating oscillator, you know what I mean by that, right? It hits the fan. These things, because this is something, it's a product of modern technology. A couple hundred years ago, people didn't have a lot of these. If you ever watch these old Westerns, okay, the old Westerns, someone in the old Western always breaks a bottle. It's either in a saloon fight or something happens in the video. There's a fight or in the movie and someone breaks a bottle. You know why they always included someone breaking a bottle in those old Westerns? Is because people watching it was abhorrent to them that you would break such a valuable thing, a bottle, because these things can be used and reused over and over and over and over again. And to our grandparents and great-grandparents watching that on a film, someone breaks something so valuable. Even back in my day when I was a kid, people still would save all of their jars and bottles that they had gotten things in the store, and they would take that in and you could get money back for them, because they wanted these back. But today, these are so mass-produced that people have forgotten, the value of these things. We take it for granted, the value of glass jars. And so I save a number of glass jars. And so this is why I like that bottle. I usually save jars and bottles that I particularly like. I have a number of, obviously we have canning jars. I have lots of those. But other jars, like for making wine, I have lots of these, and anytime I buy a wine bottle, I save a wine bottle. I have lots of these so I can make, a couple batches a year if I want to and be able to save these in bottles and put them in my wine cellar or root cellar, wine cellar, root cellar. This is another one I like. This is an Italian Chianti classic, I think. And it comes in a jar like this, and I'm like, oh, this is neat. And it wasn't that expensive, so I have a couple of these because I think they're really nice, fancy bottles. And then, of course, you want to save the corks because corks can be reused and used and reused over and over again inside these bottles, and they work great. And so I save all my corks, or a lot of them. I save a lot of my corks because you can reuse these. Plus, I have new corks for when I make new wine bottles. So I have all that. Also, again, I save other jars. This one I think was a margarita mix at some point. Horrible, didn't taste very good, but neat bottle. I like the bottle, and so I have a few of these. And so I'll save these. This one here was a Nestle instant coffee, jar. And so these can be reused for so many different things. And so I have a few of these just stashed away. I don't save all my glass containers, but I do save quite a few, especially if I don't have one yet, where I could see it maybe a specific purpose coming for it somewhere down the line. This was a kombucha. I love this one. I got this, I think, at Ozark Natural Foods. It's a co-op in Northwest Arkansas, and they sell all kinds of kombuchas, and I think that's where I got this one from. And I liked it. I just liked the bottle and the way it was shaped. It had like a little boat anchor on it right there. Pretty neat. And so I saved it. I have a couple of these, and I'm looking forward to doing kombucha again sometime here soon. This one is also one of my favorites, and I have a few of these too. This was the Terra Delisa olive oil company. Okay, and I have a number of these too. Whenever I buy the olive oil, I love the glass jars. I will not buy olive oil if it's in a plastic jar. I will always take the glass because this is a phenomenal bottle. And again, you save your corks. This is from a wine An Italian wine. Not sure. Product of Italy. And they save you corks. There you go. So you can reuse these things. You know, who knows what I'll put in this one day. Or maybe I'll barter and use this for barter items at a flea market someday, because people will want glass jars for different purposes to keep things in. And man, these things will be worth their weight in gold. So don't throw away all your glass jars. Start a collection, because one day, if there's a collapse and we have an economy that tanks and there's no one in these glass factories making these jars anymore, this stuff will be extremely, extremely valuable, have always been extremely, extremely valuable throughout history. Okay. Containers have always been, durable containers have always been extremely valuable throughout history, and will be one day again if that ever happens. I also want, so I got a number of videos. I'm going to try to do 2 items per video for barter items. And we'll go ahead and also at the end address some items that I would not trade, because there's a number of you people who have put comments down below of barter items that you could use for barter and trade, and I would absolutely never barter those items. And usually the reason why is they're far too valuable. Far too valuable. And so we'll do some videos on that coming up in other videos at the end of the series. So we'll go through some things that I think are great barter items, things that I think are great barter items, and then maybe some items that I would never barter, because I wouldn't give away something so valuable, especially the things that you cannot ever make again. You cannot ever get again. We'll talk about some of those things as well. All right, guys, be sure to hit that like button before you go. If you like the video, hit the like buttons, please. I know some of you guys just, you click off the video. But guys, it really helps YouTube. Helps me with YouTube. It lets YouTube know that people watch and enjoy our channel. Also, check out our merchandise, teespring.com. Shirts in the description below. We have our Farm Fresh butt nuggets and our Stupid Shit Hurt shirt, our best-selling shirt of all time, Stupid Shit Hurt. Check out those shirts linked in the description below. You can buy those and help the homestead with that as well. And we got some other videos coming out over for the patrons at patreon.com. Those of you who support us on Patreon, I really appreciate it. Love you guys. We could not do this without you. So, all right, we'll leave it at that. See you next time in the homestead. Bye! Hey guys, I'm happy to introduce an American Homestead sponsor, Zervita Zeal. Now, first off, I only accept sponsors from products that I use and believe in. My family uses Zeal mainly because we want to ensure a healthy immune system. You see, it's made up of only whole food concentrates and includes no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. The included sweetener is all natural from fruit and the stevia leaf. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, and it's kosher. In 2018, my youngest son was involved in a bike accident that resulted in the surgical removal of his spleen, and that's an important part of his immune system. And because we live on a farm, you can guess that having a healthy immune system for our family is very important. Some of the included ingredients are beetroot, chicory root, turmeric, moringa, blueberries, cranberry, goji berry, milk thistle, ginseng, alfalfa, broccoli, and so much more. It's these natural ingredients that can easily be made into a powerful and tasty drink that my family can make and feel good about. So sign up and give it a try today. Every purchase you make goes to help the homestead so that we can continue to make great homesteading videos for you. Link is in the description below. Go ahead, give it a try. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.